Welcome back. In Rome and around the world, an outpouring of support for Pope Francis as he continues his recovery from double pneumonia. Kelsey Thorud has the latest on the condition of the Pope.
Millions around the world continue to pray for Pope Francis as he recovers from a bout of pneumonia in both lungs. Father Matthew Carnes, the vice president for mission and ministry at Santa Clara University, says he's not at all surprised by the outpouring of support seen for the Pope during his illness.
He's been a pope in some ways for the world population. And, he's sometimes reached out in ways that touched deep chords in our human society.
Father Carnes actually has somewhat of a personal connection to the Pope, working as a Jesuit priest in Argentina, Pope Francis's home country.
I had a sense of his deep engagement with people there, the way he worked, and in the poorest parts of Argentina, what they call the villas miserias, so the poor slums around Buenos Aires, was a part of the city that he just regularly went to. He was someone that took the metro and was known for just this common person's approach.
That's why Father Carnes says he became so worried when he heard the Pope was in the hospital.
He's been such a monumental figure in the church, and someone I think has really allowed people to see a new face of the church, one that was deeply engaging of them, one that wanted to welcome them in, that wanted to draw them in. And so when I learned of his illness, I was very concerned.
Thankfully, doctors say Pope Francis is now listed in stable condition. Father Carnes says he's been inspired by how the Pope has taken his illness in stride.
We think of how many people often are in hospitals that we're not aware of, who are there, and sometimes their last days, sometimes days that need a lot of recovery. And his spiritual closeness is something I think he brings even to this experience.
Now, as Catholics across the world prepare for Lent, Father Carnes says many can look to the Pope and his battle with illness for inspiration.
I think this is going to be a time of real introspection, of looking inside and saying, how am I living out my Christian vocation today? And how might that then inspire me to pray for the kind of new life that we hope the Pope will have as he recovers, but then the kind of new life we see at Easter, where we're really sent into the world to make a difference.